Hi, welcome to um, Clairvoyant Conversation. Clairvoyant Conversation. Sorry, guys, I haven't had much sleep the last couple of nights. Been busy working and researching and writing late. But welcome to Clairvoyant Conversations. I'm Solreta Antaria for personal readings. Hi, Jordan. Um, yeah, for personal readings, always go to my website. I don't book anything through any other means, so it's always through me because I know that there is a couple of people that are getting requests from other psychics and things like that, or there's a couple of scammers that we see on here from time to time. So if you are after a personal reading, only through my website. Hello, beautiful. Hey, hi, beautiful people. Thank you for joining us tonight. So what we're going to do is first look into the week ahead. And my guides were also prompting me to talk about, just before we came on, they were just talking about in terms of setting life out and creating life. And what they mean by that is at the moment we have a lot more available energy in terms of where we want to direct life. So we need to look into different patterns. We need to set up a course of where we want to go within the future. And then we need to start acting as if to get us into that frequency or into that current to send us almost sailing into that future. So let's have a look into what they're talking about. And this just spat out sideways and jumped out. So this is actually what we're talking about. So I would say this is number one card for the week. So we have Queen of Cups, and what we can see is this ripple effect. So remember, we were just talking about like wanting to set something up for the future. So what we can see here is we've got this queen here, and she has this vessel or this shell that is a cup, and it's held over the heart chakra. Hey Jason, hey Michelle, Wendy. So she's admitting, thank you Jason, I appreciate that. Hey Laura Lou. But you can see that she's admitting some kind of frequency, and she's connecting to higher self, and she's reflecting and bringing that as her experience on the earth. But because it's water, it's about emotion. So let's have a look. Hey Jeannie. Hello Anne-Marie. All right, this one was just wanting to jump up. Let's flip this over. Positive movement forward. So this is also, remember they just used the word sailing, and they said so that we can sail in. So they're very much talking about frequency, talking about that effect of being, so almost like setting up the water, setting up the current, and then our feelings or our emotion and our vision is what the boat is. So let's have a look. They're guiding me to look into this deck. We've got a couple of different decks that they're working with tonight. So we'll get to some personal questions too. All right, so we just had a few jump out. So, and crown chakra fell on the floor. Let me just get that. That has come out. We have had this come out. Nearly every single reading that I've used this deck for has been coming out the last 2 weeks. We're in such a time for crown chakra. And I'm also wearing my psychic top tonight. I don't know if you guys can see. It's got like a little all-seeing eye on the bottom of it. But yeah, we're working with psychic energies. We're working with crown chakra. It is such a time to discover who you are on another level. And then to also start shaping and molding that as to the direction that you want to go into as well. Okay, let's feel into what these cards are saying. The first image I'm seeing is sort of like a sunshine and then a rainbow. Let me see. Yeah, the image that I'm seeing and feeling, it almost feels like that I'm on some kind of vacation or some kind of, thank you, Ray, some kind of energy where I'm sitting in the sun's influence. Now, the sun to me represents transformation. It represents sometimes leadership. Let's flip these cards and see what we've got. All right, we've got the energy of the sun coming out. Oh, okay. So we've got the Four of Cups, which is the card of luxury. Now, Four speaks about foundations, and it can speak about like stability. With water, this is more about emotional foundation and stability. And it's really about reconnecting back to higher self. So if there's any direction that you feel that you're not flowing in that energy from higher self at the moment, or you're feeling distracted from stepping in and doing what you're really supposed to be doing, and by meaning of distracted, are you putting other people first? Are other people sort of stepping in the way of your plans? Like perhaps you set yourself up to get some work done or really make those movements forward. Is there anything that's coming in that's stopping or distracting you from that path? That's the energy that I'm getting here. So we can see that the water is clear and blue, but the sky in the background is a little bit stormy. So sometimes that distraction will come in. The other thing that we have is the card of power. So I've spoken about this one, I think, on a few shows that we've done. And what we can see is that beautiful orange background. To me, that orange energy speaks of confidence. It speaks of a bit of, magnetism. And we can see that we've got the 4 different elements within the castle. The water surrounding that, to me, speaks about emotion, and it speaks about, choosing when to put that guard door or that castle door down and to let people into your space, to let them into what it is that you're working with. But say if you're busy, for example, you might need to put that drawbridge up and just say, hold on a minute, I'm just trying to get stuff done. And if the people that are not understanding this, possibly like abusing that situation, or possibly, trying to make out that they need to see you or that it's more important than you doing things over and over again, you really need to look at, are they taking your energy away or draining, or is there some kind of power struggle? Because there is a power card, there is Capricorn, so it is a sense of achievement. There is that sun energy that I could feel, but see how we've only got a small influence, so it feels like a little vacation amount of sun. It doesn't feel like the energy going on. So what you're setting up for March now will take you into around June, is what I'm seeing them say. They're saying June, July. Really trying to set up things for the rest of the year in March, really like making movements to go forward. We saw that here, and really getting that plan for what you want for yourself for the year to come in. We have this card of art, which to me is also about alchemy. I see this as the alchemy card. It's sort of like, you putting that energy in and spirit coming to meet you, but it also can be about, thank you, Jeannie. You're just gorgeous. Thank you. So yeah, we can see that the heart is there. The soul is there. There's a portal opening up. There's the Phoenix energy for transformation. Hi, Lisa. And then we also see the energy of the Hanged Man. So it's really looking at something. Hi, Betty. This is the energy of really looking at something from a different point of view. Perhaps there's more knowledge to see within the situation. Now, what I'm feeling is when you set this energy up, I'm going to pick some cards to confirm it, but it feels like that the year will take on a different format and a different shape. It feels more like when you make a movement, there's a song, there's a hip hop song that I'm hearing. I'm just trying to tune into the words of it. Let me just see. Okay, so they're giving us a card. They're saying something like, when I say hey, you say ho. When I say hey, you say ho. We're getting this kind of energy, or like a to and fro type energy from the universe. So it's like, if you're making a step forward, the universe is matching and taking a step forward with you. If you're making 2 steps forward, the universe is taking 2 steps forward with you. And I'm just picking another card from here. So let's have a look into this. Fertility. This is awesome. What is it that you're birthing? Really think about it as though your life right now is a pregnancy. That's okay. So really looking at what is it that you want to birth for the rest of the year, or at least birth in March to take through to June, July. I'm going to flip this over. Look at this. This is the seed that you're planting. This is total fertility energy. For those of you, this could mean pregnancy. The way that Spirit's showing it is a life direction, and they're showing it as a business as well. So they could be looking at what fertility represents to you. Here's that sun's energy that we've got again in the top of this. And we can see these seeds being planted, but they need to be planted in, we've got Scorpio around that soil region of the card. So Scorpio is sort of like that deep hidden mystery side. There needs to be a little bit of digging to get to the, under the surface. So these are all really good cards going ahead. We don't have too much of March left. We're kind of on the halfway mark. So using Mars, why did I say Mars? Using March wisely. All right. I'm sorry to hear that, John. All right. So, Jordan, I'm just going to go for you first. Just two cards fell out when I just said your name. So, I'm just writing down. So we have the card of fortune, which is a turn of events. And yeah, I'm just sending you a lot of love as well. It's not an easy thing to go through, and a lot of us have been through that as well. So we have this beautiful card of fortune. We can see there's a Jupiter expansion energy, and we can also see that we've got virtue, which is coming into alignment with source, and then other parts coming into play too. We can see that there's a fruition. This represents initial achievement or growth. Now, because we have this come out with the card of fortune, what it feels like with this, sometimes when we see the stars coming in, it's almost visualizing as though a soul's waiting, waiting in reserve, waiting to come to earth. So we can sort of see that there is that energy at the moment. So sometimes this will represent a soul wanting to come in, to take a physical body to be born. And we do tend to have our children come and hang out with us before they incarnate here on the physical earth. You can just imagine almost like a just going to check them out to see if they're a good match. So we do have this kind of energy. And this one didn't get put away as well. This one was sitting out, so Queen of Cups. So I feel that this is about being open and being receptive. And this is a really beautiful mother energy with this as well. So, that's all really good signs. What I feel with the orange too and the gold, I feel that this is about attunement. And I feel that they're talking about really tuning into yourself right now, really possibly looking into what is it that you want for yourself and feeling like things are calming down, because it feels as though there was like a little bit of stress and things around in the background. So that might not necessarily mean stress like up in your face and around, but there could have been other stressful things going on kind of in the sidelines, if that makes sense. So I'm going to pick some other cards. Let's have a look what we've got. All right, I'm just going to get some. All right, so we've got Alicia McGuinness. So I also just want to say, because I can see that you're saying legal advice. So just letting everyone know, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a lawyer. I'm listening to the messages from Spirit and also the messages in the cards tonight. So I'd like to just put that out there. So Alicia McGuinness will ask about you. And Ray Louise, I feel really drawn to you as well. And we've got Michelle Savati or Savali. Okay, so first we're going to read for Alicia. I'm just going to pop these cards in. By the way, I'm feeling really excited by March. This energy that we get to work with what was I going to say, Mars again? You know what? I'm going to talk about Mars. So with Mars is an energy that's more connected to do with the masculine, to do with sort of like the patriarchal. It's also sometimes referred to as the planet connected to do with war, or the planet, perhaps helping you to get tasks done. So it's like having a vision and, sort of making an action plan around it. So with this being said, looking into how you can action any Mars energy. So in terms of like planetary medicine, things like coriander relate to Mars. I think tiger's eye perhaps. There's a couple of other plants and different things that you can use to anchor that energy of Mars. So using that Mars energy to give you that power to push you forward. So when we look at the opposite side of it, and we have Venus, it's a very soft, flowy, kind of like goddessy energy. It's very free, very creative. So sometimes we do need to actually be in that Mars energy driving us forward. Okay. So we're just reading now for Alicia. And this was in regards to a legal situation you were saying as well. Okay, so we've got 3 cards. So all right, so the most important thing that they're showing me first, I'm hearing them say the words realign, and they're really getting me to sort of like defuse and breathe. So they're talking about you holding a lot of stress on the body from this case at the moment, and it's kind of on your mind, and there's a feeling of not being able to move far past it, sort of like emotionally and mentally. It feels almost like it's in the eyebrows. And what I mean by that is like sort of around that frontal part of the head. So this might even feel like an actual physical migraine or a headache. It feels like it's sort of tension based. So I would say it's sort of that overwhelming stress. So we'll have a flip of these cards. All right, so where we do have, this is very interesting. So we have the Princess of Wands. So this speaks about this beautiful energy of the princess. She has these Aries kind of like horns. There's, you know, a strong kind of aspect to her. Now, what I feel like this is sort of describing you, and I feel like this legal case may have knocked you a little bit. Now, we have the tiger that has the tail around the throat chakra. So in this particular situation, what this is talking about is feeling almost like your throat closed up, but the tiger represents fear. And we can see he's not sort of like in a fearful position. He's kind of just drifting or falling, but pulling her down with him. So it's really looking at like what areas of life is fear holding you back. The other thing we do have is Spirit has this beautiful little altar on the side that has these roses and a flame burning. So there is that heart chakra kind of love energy, because love is associated with the roses too. But sometimes it'll bring through a sign of purity, a sign of wisdom, and yeah, definitely that heart chakra. Now, the energy being red sometimes can relate to root chakra, can relate to survival type things. Because the princess is being pulled down in yellow and green, this is in regards to learning lessons. So it really feels like Spirit is talking about like patterns and making sure to not have any kind of like repeat scenarios or patterns. I feel like Spirit is trying to just sort of like put those little walls up or those little boundaries. And we have the card of disappointment. So I won't talk too much about this, but this also speaks of fear. That's what I want to say about this card. Although we can see the blue cups have that purity to them, what they need is sort of a bit of a wash off, and just like a repurification with that. And then we have the card of success. So this sort of represents overcoming fear and then stepping into success. Now, what I'm hearing Spirit talk about is this is a mindset. And what I feel that they're also, the word that they're giving is educating. What I feel that they're also speaking or educating on, and they're tingling my crown chakra as we talk about this too. So even meditating, connecting to your guides might be helpful at this time while you're going through this stressful situation. I feel like this is actually meditation and different things that are coming into the picture to help calm things. It is a Taurus energy though, so there could be a couple of delays. There could be some things dragged out. It could be possibly to do with like finances or, you know, a settlement price or something in regards to this, because it is that Taurian energy. But what I really feel that the guides are communicating with is overcoming fear, and that being sort of one of the most important focuses, because it's coming up in 2 out of the 3 cards. So I hope that helps. So let's have a look for Ray Louise, and we'll pick some cards for you. All right, so what I'm seeing around you at the moment, Ray, is I'm seeing a lot of yellow come through. On top of the crown chakra, it's almost feeling like sunshine on your head. And I'm seeing it come down around the left-hand side of the body. You're welcome, Alicia. All the best for your case as well. I hope that it all goes smoothly. So yeah, what I'm seeing for you, Ray, is this yellow coming in on the, it's a fly touching me on the ankle. I thought it was a spider. So what I'm seeing for you is this yellow energy coming in on the left. So your guides are almost like pinging you on top of the head right now. And they're talking about coming in and giving you inspiration. So looking into number synchronicities, looking into, you know, if there's something that you think about around that number synchronicity time. Hey, Steve. So we have the card of the Empress, we have the card of success, and we have the Prince of Swords. So your intuition is really trying to communicate to you at the moment. I feel that March is a really good cycle for you as well. With this card, we can see that she's holding this beautiful blue flower up to her heart. So she's sort of charging her heart up with the medicine. We can see the phoenix energy on the shield and that beautiful swan that's nurturing those little baby goslings. We can see that she sort of sits between both worlds. It's like she's in communion with both worlds. We have the card of success again, come up with this. And we also have the Prince of Swords. So we can see here that there's a beautiful shape of manifestation, this sacred geometry shape in the center. We can see that he's pulling the chariot with 3 of these beings that he's put to work. So I feel that this is also about your guides sort of putting them to work in a way, so making sure that you're connecting regularly for meditation. The other thing that I'm seeing too is a little dog around, and it feels to be like a young dog or a puppy. So it could be that you've possibly got one in your life or in someone close to you right now, or that perhaps there's one coming in. So we also have spiritual strength. So this just further echoes what they were talking about to do with connecting with intuition and guides. So very interesting. So I'm just going to go to Michelle Savali now. So I hope that helps, Ray. Okay. And we're going to go to Michelle Savali, and then we'll start taking some other names. I can smell incense coming from my daughter's bedroom. It smells lovely. All right. Oh, we're getting 3 cards out of here. It was almost like automatic. So we'll turn these ones over. This is interesting. We've got a similar card that we had up before. So they're talking about conception of something. I'm hearing them say the word an idea. So we've got fertility, followed by truth, followed by patience. So they're really talking about conception of an idea, it feels like, or a vision or a dream. And then I feel that with this card of truth, I feel like it's coming into alignment. So it's kind of feeling, okay, well, I want this to happen in life. How do I best bring this vibration or this frequency in? And then we have the card of patience. So we can see that it's about not just happening overnight, but it's a little bit, love. We can see the 2 different aspects. And I can see, Ray, you're saying, I have been seeing a lot of number sequences. Thank you so much, Solreta. Lots of internal exploration to do. This is definitely a really good time for you in terms of this exploration. We can see that she's sort of come into her own. So this is about you coming into your own. We can see that her hair behind it has kind of like tree branches. So you're really coming into your own wisdom right now. So really trust in what it is that you want for yourself and kind of adjusting and tuning out. And what's really funny is she kind of looks a little bit like Jennifer Anderson. So I just thought that was funny. They must have taken some faces and painted similar. But what we see with this is the heart is aligned here, which is really beautiful. And we can see that there is the card of truth coming into weighing. So this is also that saying of, in ancient Egypt, weighing the heart of someone or the soul of someone against that feather to make sure that they were a good person. So this also might be asking you to look into people that are around you and getting you to reassess how they fit into your life. But we do have the card of patience, and I do feel that this is regarding that energy for you to have patience. And it feels like patience with yourself. So whether you have unrealistic expectations on yourself, whereas if you were to give someone else a similar deadline or expect certain things of someone else, you're holding yourself up to unrealistic expectations in some way compared to what you would with someone else. It's like Spirit's trying to say that you might be kinder towards someone else compared to yourself. So really look at how you can be kind to yourself as well at the same time as doing that exploration. So interesting energies. That was for Michelle. Oh, that's funny, Jeannie. What timing, hey? All right, so I'm going to take some other names, and I had Spirit guiding me to some others. So we've got Kane Simon. Just writing some names down. We've got so we've got Pilar Mescara, I think, and Lisa Berdich. Hopefully I'm saying all of your names right. And for those of you wanting to actually really look a lot deeper in, I've had a lot of people request to do 2-hour readings. So I do let my clients record for their own personal use, just because there is so much information come out in the one-on-one sessions. We can really focus and hone into those energies that you're wanting to look into. So I do have 2-hour readings available. I just noticed my light has fallen down. I have the 1 hour and I have half hour. So everything is on the link that I've posted with this on my website. And Steve Kennedy, let's have a look for you as well. So I'm just writing your names down. First, we're going to go to Kane Simon. So let's see what cards they're drawing us to. They want this particular deck to start with. Oh, this one's jumping up. And we'll get a couple of cards from this other deck. This is interesting. All right, so just had like an image or a vision. And I'm just going to say it as I see it. So I don't know if you guys remember, and I wasn't born then, but I think it was in the 50s. They had that real kind of like mint green color, and it was in cars, it was in kitchens. It was sort of like a fresh kind of like mint green. I don't know any other way to describe it. It's not the avocado green that's sort of connected with the 60s or 70s. This is like a real fresh mint color. And they also had like a kitsch type pink around that particular time. So the image that I saw was poolside, and I'm also seeing sort of like deck chair type things, you know, where you see like white stripe, then a mint, then white. Some reason Spirit is showing me this. So this might be relevant to someone out there, or it might be relevant to Kane. I'm going to flip these cards. We have spiritual union come up as well. So I feel like this is the overall energy for the reading. So this would also mean or indicate an energy of a spiritual relationship. And we'll have a look at the other cards to see what we get with this as well. Okay, so what I do feel coming in, and I feel like I just want to sit and have my eyes closed feeling into this energy, because the energy of it feels really good. It feels like being open to love is the energy. And it's just that good feeling that you get in your heart and your belly with love. So I'm going to flip these cards. There is a card of peace, there's Queen of Swords, and we have defeat. So it's talking about sometimes with the relationship energy, or perhaps with things when they're going good in life, there may be a tendency to possibly look into what goes wrong. So what I mean by this is sometimes when things are going really good, we might trip ourselves up. Our subconscious might go, yeah, things are going well now, but, and then our brain, our amygdala will remind us of where they've gone not well in the past. Oh, you have a mint top on and mint green earrings. Interesting. I wonder if that reference to the 50s means anything to you. Spirit was really starting to talk about this. I'm going to pop you on the list, Kimmy, because it could be connected to do with you somehow. Now, that 50s energy is a way that they convey that to me too, because I do associate that sort of colour with that period of time. So for you, Kane, we have this card of peace, and I felt that this was coming through with love. So if it's in regards to a new relationship, it might be coming through with a different type of partner that is more spiritually based and more, you know, focused and connected in that soul energy. And there's a sense of peace coming with them. We have Queen of Swords as well too. And what we can see with this Queen of Swords is that she's taken the mask off, or beheaded someone, as one of my friends likes to say about this card. Oh, okay, Kimmy, you're 55. I'm 55. So it could be connected to do with why they're sort of showing 50s, even if is the Queen of Swords. We can see there's a liberation. So there's some kind of spiritual union with a sense of a beautiful peace or a new start coming in. But it's just being careful about old patterns in relation to this. Now, this could also indicate soul tribe coming in. I'm just going to ask, when we work on basing, like releasing old patterns and we focus on love, what kind of energy that we get. Now, there is a bit of work to do in regards to this because we're still being shown that come up in the other cards. So this is perhaps looking at what you can do on a subconscious level to reprogram old patterns and to look at where you've had similar things happen with relationships. So perhaps taking like a little stock take on the types of people that you've had in your life. Now, this does not have to mean a romantic relationship. Sometimes things will come up more general in a read like this because we are working with lots of people, and it can be confronting talking about our stuff, in front of everyone. So let me see. Yeah, it does feel like that there is a new person energy around, but they feel like an old soul, meaning like an old soul group. So I'm just asking them for a card for when you really work and sort of scrub out that subconscious programming. And this can be something that we've learned through watching others when we're very young. Oops, there's a card coming out. I'm going to hold this one up. Oh, this is beautiful. So when you really do work to kind of like clear that subconscious mind, eliminate old programming, and not sort of set yourself up to have things unfold the way that they may have in the past. So when we're working with eliminating defeat and indolence out of the life, and I feel with this, it's like setting out, going, yeah, this is what I want in a relationship. And then it's only sort of fulfilling a few things. So it's really talking about upping your self-worth and your value. But we do have Ace of Disc, which represents possibly a new opportunity on the earth too. Yeah, it could even represent soulmate, twin flame energy, because we do have spiritual union. So a really beautiful energy to work towards. But in order to bring that person into alignment, it really is sort of taking that mask off, getting real with yourself, having that open vulnerability that we see in this card, and then things coming into alignment for you. So I hope that that helps. Might be something you want to explore in a personal one-on-one reading, just because it is a little bit deep, and sometimes spirit will only sort of go surface deep in amongst everyone. It depends on the person. So Pillar, we're going to pick a card for you, and they're guiding you to the Avalon deck. Oh, this is gold. Look at this. I haven't used this deck for ages, but it wanted to come out tonight. Oops, there it is. Do they want all of these? This one and this one. Okay, so we've got two out of this deck. I'm going to flip these. All right, so we have the Wasp. This was in reverse. So this is about purging anger, purging any kind of feeling of jealousy or retaliation. So it's really about eliminating this out of your life. Perhaps you've had some people that were a little bit toxic just start to eliminate themselves out of your life. This is about seeing things from like a higher perspective and a higher sort of vision. We have the eagle come in. So this also represents spirit, it represents integrity, connection to the angelic realm as well. So asking for that protection, or you may have already been asking for that protection and feeling that come in. So really looking at when, and sometimes the wasp can be a bit of a parasite, meaning that I'm just trying to convey what it is Spirit showing me. So what I mean by that is it can sometimes feed off other energy and sort of, be a little bit annoying and a little bit of a buzz around. You know how we like shoo a fly away or we shoo a wasp away? It is a little bit harder sometimes to get that. And Jason is saying eat honey. Yeah, so looking at like with the wasp as well. And I've also heard, what is it? It's like the bee trying to teach the fly that eating, all of the disgusting things. It's basically the bee that makes honey or likes honey tries to teach the fly about that pretty much eats shit in one word or another is the way that it's described. Hi Carrie, lovely to see you here. So yeah, it's really looking at like where is that sweetness in life? Where are those honey moments? And what kind of value do people bring? I really feel that this is about adding value and having people and surrounding your life with people that add value. This isn't always easy because sometimes we feel that we have to, how would we say, people please, that we have to please others. So let's pop these cards back in the deck. I hope that that helps. That's interesting because I haven't read from that deck for ages. So really focus on that eagle eye view at the moment as well. Okay. All right. So we'll cross your name off. Thank you, Pillar. Lisa Beredich. Okay, and we're going to get us to pick out of this deck. There's a little itch on the nose. I'm not sure whether you've had hay fever or anything, but Spirit is just giving me like little tickles on the nose. I feel like it's almost a feather under the nose. Okay, so this is for you, Lisa. I'm just going to feel into this. I feel water, and they're showing me the image of water going under a bridge. So I'm not just seeing water go under a bridge. You know, sometimes like they say that in terms of like letting go of people or a situation. What I'm actually seeing is water under a bridge and then kind of like floating down the river, and it's like you're having such a marvelous time that it's almost forgetting about, you know, that whole water under a bridge scenario. And sometimes when people say water under a bridge, it can come across as a little bit insincere. Oh, thank you, Jeannie. It's so sweet of you. So let's have a look at what we've got in regards to them talking about. Now we've got some very, very high energy with this. We have the High Priestess, and then we have the Grail Knight. Now they've appeared together, so this could be talking about getting over perhaps an old relationship or some kind of old connection. So, oh, sorry, Miranda, this one is for Lisa Baradinch. So yeah, with the High Priestess, this is really about discernment, persistence, prophecy, and vision. So looking at when we talk about water under a bridge, or we say that, you know, some people aren't bothering us anymore, or we've let go of the past, sometimes it's true. And then sometimes, you know, in the backs of our minds, there might be that little resonance of, or little residual part left over. What I'm seeing with this is we can see that this High Priestess, she has her herb, she has her little crow. We can see that she has her bowl of water to bring in messages to Skyer and to look and see, you know, for prophecy and for vision. We can see that there's a goddess also holding up a table, just in this far corner too. I think you, Nadine. We can see this in here. So this is also looking at, in regards to past situations, looking at like what kind of part you played in it, or how much energy and attention you played in it. And I feel that there's this grail, this masculine energy around. You do get a tickle on your nose. I just saw you say that. That's good to know, because Spirit was really like tickling me and showing me the image of a white feather, which sometimes can be Spirit actually coming and tickling you. So you might have a cheeky person in the spirit realm giving you a tickle under there. Oh, hey Sana, good to see you on here too. Sana's saying such a new energy in the wind and a change for me, feels weird in the body. Much love to you. Much love to you as well, beautiful. Yeah, there's definitely a different change in the air. I spoke about it just at the start of the video. We've actually got a lot more potential to manifest at the moment too. So Pele is also saying, yes, thank you. I've had those issues and I feel like I've been a people pleaser and I'm tired and that I'm just asserting myself. Maybe it's appearing as that. Yes. Because we also have this Grail Knight, which is sort of like a masculine energy. So this could also be in regards to energy that you're bringing and feeling, you know, in charge of things, or it could represent a new masculine energy coming in, because it is about romance, illusion, and seeking the sacred. So we can see that he has this cup up, and you can see this stream of light or this godly energy coming down and shining upon him as well. That is beautiful. Oh, and Lisa K, I just saw, I posted an earlier post about my daughter's kitty. He's been lost since Thursday. Can we please have some insight onto where he is? I'm gathering info as we haven't found him yet. If you can type your daughter's kitty's first name, that would be amazing. We can tune into his energy, but I'm just going to pop you on here. Okay. So I'm just going to where Spirit takes me tonight. And Lisa, what was the name of the kitty as well? So we'll get to that question in a minute. So we're up to Steve. So I hope that helps, Lisa. So Steve, let's have a look for you. Steve Kennedy. All right, they're taking me here. Okay, so I'm feeling something and then I'm hearing something with you, Steve. So I'm hearing the word or feeling the energy. It feels a little bit like burnout. Oh, Gary, what a cute name for your daughter's cat. I'm going to write Gary in here. So yeah, with Steve, what I'm feeling is a little bit of a heavy kind of burdensome energy. I feel like it's almost like shouldering other people's responsibilities, or if people are sad, it's like you being so empathic that it feels almost burdensome is the word that giving me. I'm going to have a look into what we get with these cards. Okay, they're telling me to pick out of this deck as well. They're talking about 2 cards. We've got hope and we've got firm foundation out of this deck. So we can see this is sort of like holding us. So I feel like this is talking about like what we said at the start of the video too, like being receptive. What's really interesting is I've never noticed this in this card before. There's actually a person standing in the center of this sun energy. And then when you look individually around each of these little streams of light, it's a collective of people. So this is talking about radiating and resonating what it is that you want to put out into the world and others coming into alignment. Now we have firm foundation come up with this as well. Oh, don't we have the sweetest audience? Sue's saying that she hopes that you find Gary safe, Lisa. So I'm going to flip these other cards for you, Steve. So yeah, we can see this burdensome type energy. It's like trying to be that point of power, and then people sort of like wearing your guard down, possibly taking advantage in the past, but with a new mindset, tuning into this hope energy and a new firm foundation, we then find abundance. So I hope that that helps. It is really looking at like, yeah, holding strong and holding firm to what it is that resonates for you. And what I mean by that is sometimes we'll have people try and wear us down or try and, you know, do things perhaps that we don't 100% resonate with, or we don't perhaps also want to do. So Lisa is also saying that Gary named after the snail on SpongeBob. That is so sweet. So I hope that that helps, Steve. Just seeing what else they are talking about. Is there anything else that we need to know for Steve? Oh my gosh, hope. Please tune into the frequency and energy of hope. Yeah, so I just saw you say, yeah, a bit of a burden. Yes, sometimes, yes, definitely helps. Definitely, like hope is the opposite of that feeling of being weighed down by the burdensome energy. It's like that new perspective, that new hope, and we can just see that it's you also coming into alignment. You're bringing yourself into alignment with higher frequency souls, and when we do that, we get communication. So it's a really beautiful positive sign. I also hear them say spirit communication when we get that. So I would we were going to read for Kimmy as well, and then we've got Lisa with Gary, which will be interesting to tune into. All right, so Kimmy, they're taking me to this card and this card. So we have patience and planning, these 2 pillars coming up in this deck. Then we also have crown chakra energy too. And we're going to have time for some more readings. I'm going to put some new names on the list soon. So this is for Kimmy. Oh, you're so welcome, Steve. I do feel that there's a little bit of a block around. Oops, I've popped a card. Oh my God. I put this in the wrong deck and it was catching my eye. So please, anything that helps lift you to that hope energy. But yeah, always a pleasure. So with you, Kimmy, as well, we're going to pick some other cards. So we have patience and planning, and it's asking you to do it on a spiritual level. And we can see that it's calling in this universe or this God energy coming in, but it's doing it through the resonance of crown chakra. And what we can see is that these pillars look kind of different. So it's not having to be perfect. It's really interesting energy. So Let's have a look at what we've got. What does Spirit want us to know about these energies on those cards? Okay, so we have 3 cards fall out, and 2 of them that fell out. No, I'm sure we had all 3 of these out before. This is very interesting. Either that or I've already read for, and I did another show earlier today, and it might have been similar energies, but we have peace, we have the Queen of Swords, and we have art, which is alchemy. So this is really a similar kind of match up to this in a way. We have this possibly a choice needing to be made. I do feel that it's really about getting real with yourself when I look into these energies. And what I'm seeing with this is it's not about settling. This is about going to the higher perspective. So if there is something that you've been asking for in life or something you're wanting to work towards manifesting, and it's kind of sort of like subpar or perhaps not up to scratch, this might be about reassessing and sort of like reassessing the potion. So, you know, we wouldn't exactly drink a potion that's not 100%. Say if we made a potion and, you know, it was a love potion, and perhaps it maybe got us something that, you know, wasn't exactly what we ordered. We would go back to the alchemy table or back to the drawing board, tweak it a little bit, add a bit more cinnamon in, possibly add like a couple of rose petals in there. So Spirit is asking you to go back to the drawing board on something that you're wanting to manifest, but to look at it from a realistic point of view. So very interesting energy. Lisa, let's look into Gary, the cat. Oh, you make potions. No wonder why Spirit, I'm like, I don't think I've spoken about potions on here before. Yeah, very interesting energy. And I must have swapped. Oh my God, look at this. I put this in the wrong deck. High Priestess. How funny is Spirit tonight? So yeah, look at that potion that you're making. Back to the drawing board to tweak a potion. How exciting. I'd love to hear more about your potions. But yeah, it feels like that you're manifesting something, so keep making those beautiful potions. Oh, how funny is that, Jeannie? So I'm just trying to get to some other people tonight as well, and just like where Spirit is taking me. So we do have a bit of time left, so let's see. All right, Lisa, we're going to find out around Kitty. And what deck do you want me to go to? Okay. We're going to our Spirit Guide deck. So we're going to work with the animal cards. Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you. Oh, this is such a big deck to shuffle. Okay, so I'm really actually getting shown the spirit of the elephant. And I don't know if there is an elephant in this particular deck because it's a newish one I haven't worked with too much. But what I'm being shown in regards to an elephant spirit is that, what's that saying around elephants? An elephant never forgets. So what I feel like in this particular situation is that energy of like remembrance. And I'm looking at it from Gary's point of view is what they're sort of showing me. So it's like remembering, you know how we sometimes think when animals disappear that that they'll forget us? What I'm seeing is like a very strong feeling of knowing like where this kitty belongs. But it could be, you know, different circumstances that have either possibly cut him off from finding where you guys are. You know, this time of year, it's not uncommon for garages and things like that to be open, and cats go for a little bit of a wander locally and sometimes can be, you know, locked up for a couple of days and things. Let me just see what else we also feel with this. I just feel that he's sort of conveying that energy of love. So let's have a look. We have the sandpiper spirit, and there's talking about be playful. So he possibly could have disappeared around being playful. Let me just see quickly with this one, because these are oracle ones, and these are quite new. But I'm just going where spirit has guided me. And I've never heard of this bird. Okay, so the oracle message for the sandpiper. So sandpipers are cute little clowns poking their beaks into sand before darting off to chase the waves. The appearance of the sandpiper spirit is a sign that now is the time to engage in your playfulness. So wherever energy takes you, so I'm just going to sort of cut in, because it's about exploring. It says exploring the familiar and discovering the new in the old. So possibly Gary might have gone onto a little adventure. So it's talking about, having fun and things like this too. But then it also has a protection message. It says, when your heart is heavy and life seems to weigh you down, Sandpiper's message is to lighten your burden by finding joy, humour in every day. Become like a playful child, filled with curiosity and wonder, and soon you will find you feel your own spirit. A few minutes or hours of fun-filled delight is exactly what you need right now. So let your inner goof out to express itself with the burden. So what I feel Spirit is saying when we read this too is really connecting into that energy of Gary. So perhaps even getting your daughter to tune in and to feel into those energies connected to do with Gary and those happy times. So let's pick a card based on what Spirit is showing us to see what kind of answer we get from this deck of cards. Flip these cards. Okay, so it does feel like that there could be some kind of coming together of the picture or information. So we have Ace of Discs come up, but we also have the Cruelty card. Now, this can feel like a little bit of wounding. It can feel like a, like pain or trauma that we may experience. Yeah, interesting energy. I'll just see if there's anything else they want to give us in regards to another card. So we have forgiveness coming upside down as well. So that's interesting energy coming up around Gary. I'll just see if there's anything else that we've got. The thing Spirit keeps showing me is it's like to breathe and think of him in happy times. So I hope that helps. Yeah, they just keep showing it's like remember him in happy times and remember that playful sort of Spirit energy. That's what Spirit's showing me right now. Yeah, hopefully he will be found safe. But at the moment, that's just what Spirit's showing me. I'll see if there's anything else that we need to know before we finish off from his energy. We do have Queen of Wands, and they're telling me to pick a second one. And we have completion as well. I feel that this is just staying that frequency of what they were just talking about. So remembering those happy times with Gary and tuning into that frequency. Spirit was also trying to show me an energy of, it's like remaining calm and sort of tuning into your intuition. So sometimes when I'm worried about something, I'll check in with my gut, check in with my heart, and say if one of the kids is home a little bit later or something like that, and I'll tune in. And as soon as I get that sort of panic that I need to tune in, I tune in and I'm like, no, they'll be home in a minute. It's almost as if I'm sensing them coming back. So really tuning in. I'm just sending you lots of love as well. So my fingers and heart across to hope that you find him. Please let me know if you do find him. We had the card of alchemy come in too. So we're just going to send some love and protection around him. And yeah, hopefully he turns up soon. Okay, so let's just get a couple of names. So we've got Colleen Jackson. And Love Potion number 9. How funny. That's such a good song. So we've got V Webb as well. So I'm just going to pick some cards for Colleen Jackson, just seeing where they're guiding us to. So remembering I've got my one-on-one readings available on the website. So there's half-hour, 1 hour and 2 hour readings available, and also kinesiology sessions online too. So there's still a couple of bookings left. I am actually taking off Easter because I'm flying up to New South Wales to spend time with my beautiful partner. But yeah, so Easter is kind of off the books at the moment, but if you want to get in before Easter, now is definitely the time. All right, so just picking for Colleen. What do we need to know for Colleen for a moment? All right, they're saying there's an energy of sort of like a Gemini indecisiveness when I picked these cards. So it was like just one card. And then it's like when I went to pick one card, they're like, maybe another one. So whether you're feeling to kind of like stick your toe in somewhere, or kind of like feel into something and then it's like change your mind, there's this kind of energy that I'm seeing with this. So let's have a look. Okay, so we have the Lovers in reverse and then we have the Strife card too. So with Colleen, and I'm just going to have a look, see if I can see your photo as well. Oh, you've got a picture on there. This could be connected to with an old relationship. Sometimes this is a soul kind of connection to. We can see that the lovers are here at this altar and spirit is kind of like overseeing, but because it's in reverse, it could represent lovers in connection with the past. But this is you stepping out of alignment and trying to people please and be there for others more so than yourself. We've got this card, the card of death, but it was coming in upside down. So this could be something new coming in, but the spirit is really talking about not repeating the same pattern. I'm just also taking this. It's about overcoming your fears. So really about overcoming fears to do with old relationships and moving beyond that. And when we do, what energy have we got? The Princess of Wands. So this is still showing like a little bit of fear, trying to kind of like overcome. Yeah, really interesting. All right, I'm going to pop these back in and just ask, all right, so when we finally overcome that fear energy, this can even mean sometimes when you're in a current relationship as well. We have completion. So, 555 Queensland time. And I just got this like weird kind of taste in my mouth. And what I mean by that, it's like I want to say Mercury. There's like a mercurial overthinking type energy that's almost permeating into the physical. So this is really about stopping any thought patterns that perhaps are weighing you down. And then we have this one. Oh, thank you so much, Jeannie. You're so beautiful. Thank you for being with us tonight. I'm sorry I didn't get time to read for everyone. Just trying to spread some energies and make sure I get to some new people tonight as well. But yeah, I hope you have a beautiful weekend too. So that was also just for Colleen, and we'll just pick a card for V Webb. Oops, and we've just had some cards fall out. So this is interesting. We have the Moon followed by the Star, the Knight of Disc, Strife in reverse, and the Lovers. So what I'm seeing with this is there's some kind of energy, and I'll hold these up in a sec. I'll just read this picture. So there's some kind of energy to do with, you know what, I'm feeling some soulmate relationships coming around for people at the moment. It feels like there's an energy of influence to do with soul families, soulmates, really big, deep connections coming in for people at the moment. So really looking into what it is that you're calling. You're welcome, Colleen. So we've got the Moon, which is sometimes like looking into past patterns and things, can represent past life people coming into life. And then we have the Star, which is beautiful. It's about bringing knowledge, but it's about bringing that wisdom, that your soul is born, and bringing that onto the earth. So it's, you're so sweet. Thank you. So yeah, we have that beautiful star energy, which is Aquarius in nature, and it talks about, bringing this energy onto the planet to make the world a better place. So this is really about being yourself. We have the Knight of Disc, which sometimes can be a little bit of an older, tired feeling. Perhaps there's been a little bit of a battle, but what I'm seeing is strife being over, because this is coming into reverse. And then we've got Lover's card coming in. So this might be talking about, triumphing over a certain situation. But yeah, it seems like a really good energy, so I hope that helps. Let's quickly pick a card for Laura Lou. I see you down the bottom. Oops, and Spirit just threw out some cards. All right, so we have there's two cards. Oh, this is interesting. Yeah, I think we're definitely dealing with a situation around some soulmate relationships and things at the moment. We had the card of debauch, which is cleaning up like the old sludge. This is a cups card, and it's 7 of cups. So we can see here there's Venus energy. And with this 7 of cups as well, it's really understanding the part that you played in relation to old relationships. Now, this doesn't mean that you can't be with someone new, but what it represents is clearing out any effects from old toxic relationships to focus on this love energy. And then we do see a little bit of that strife card come back up. So similar energies to what we've had, and then the power card come up. So Spirit is really talking about getting your mindset and emotions cleared out, focusing on love so that you can step into power. So I hope that this makes sense. There's a transformation energy coming around you as well, it feels like. So just sending you all lots of love and blessings. Have a beautiful weekend. For private bookings with me, like I said, I'm taking Easter off. I might still do a show on here for Easter though. But yeah, on my website, so it's solreta.com. But yeah, just sending you lots of love. Have a beautiful weekend. Bye everyone.